there was a discussion regarding the questioning of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala questioning us on Yawm al-Qiyamah, and specifically, how does He question? Would it be every single thing that we've done in our lives for every single second? And Shaykhuna had a very brief summary near the end of the segment. If Shaykhuna could kindly elaborate on that original statement, inshallah, be very, very beneficial.
Jazakallah khair. So I think the first point that I wanted to make was that we should not be surprised by how detailed. There's two aspects to this. One is the record, right, and the other is how Allah Subhanahu wa Taala will question us and use that record. Firstly, the accuracy of the record, I think should reflect the competency of the recorder. So what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's competence in that regard? The angels who administrate that record, what is their competency in that regard? Infinite, right? Unimaginable to us. So therefore, we should expect something that is infinitely detailed. Now, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will use that and how He will ask, etc., that is something that is down to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should, given that the record is there, and given that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most just and the absolutely just, we should expect to be questioned about everything, and if we're fortunate, then about nothing, right? So we know about two phenomena on the Day of Judgment. One is, and I would ask the brother to actually refer to, for this particular issue, refer to verse 49 in Surah Al-Kahf, which is what I referenced before. I mean, Surah Al-Nahl, the verse that he mentioned, just makes the brief statement, وَلَا تُسْأَلُونَ عَمَّا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. You'll be asked about what you did or what you used to do in the dunya. Whereas it's much more vivid in verse 49 Surah Al-Kahf, right, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the record being opened up and being placed, and you'll see the criminals fearing what is in the record. And they will say, what is it with this book? What I mentioned before. What is it with this book that it records everything? It doesn't leave anything small or big out.
Yeah.
And then, وَوَجَدُوا مَا عَمِلُوا حَاضِرًا. And they will find everything that they've done before them. And the most important thing is this last bit, which is وَلَا يَظْلِمُ رَبُّكَ أَحَدًا. That your Lord will not be unjust to anyone. That nobody will be wrong. Nobody will be treated unjustly. People will get what they deserve. However, where people are deserving of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy, or where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to treat people with mercy, He will do so with absolute discretion, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't have to justify His mercy. And this is where we know that there will be people who won't be questioned at all, right? And we know about people who on the Day of Judgment will be shaded under Allah's arsh. There are a hadith about 70,000 who will go to paradise without any kind of reckoning. And there are hadith that speak about other numbers, bigger numbers, and so on. So the point is that eventually how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses that record is really something for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with just one underlying condition, that people will be treated with immense generosity out of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy and discretion on the one hand, and the one thing that will never happen is nobody will be wronged. And those are the key principles to remember.